People walking through Sewickley or driving up to Beaver Street from Route 65 Boulevard have commented on the beauty of the Broad Street flowers. A few years ago, Sewickley Borough changed the plant material in the garden beds of this prominent median strip on Broad Street. The median has been exposed to constant car traffic, and the soil was damaged from years of salt, exhaust, and soil nutrient loss. A conversation with Stonebridge Nursery led to the design of colorful annuals to be planted every May for the enjoyment of all. Stonebridge Nursery created a design for the 15 beds. 5,000 annual plant seeds are planted each fall. They grow in the greenhouse all winter until the flowers reach 6 inches tall. In May of each year, the Sewickley Borough digs out the old soil and replaces it with fresh soil, and a garden hose run down the center of each bed. Next, Bidwell Training Center students did the 5,000 annual flowers over 2 days. In fall of 2019, Stonebridge Nursery retired from the project. Mayor Brian Jeffy of Sewickley approached the Sewickley Civic Garden Council with the proposal to work on the design and fundraising for the Broad Street annual plants. Sewickley Civic Garden Council, SCGC, was formed to coordinate the efforts of individuals in garden clubs to improve the appearance of the Sewickley area. SCGC has worked on a number of projects, including Riverfront Park, the Sewickley Community Center, the Sewickley Post Office, Sweetwater Center for the Arts, Sewickley Public Library, School Gardens, Mary Roberts Reinhardt Park, Henley Park, and Walcott Park, to name a few. The origin of the word civic and the Latin roots are about community, selflessness, and oneness. This is the Broad Street Project, a year-round project of design, growing, funding, planting, watering, and of course weeding of the flowers. The Sewickley Civic Garden Council and the Sewickley Borough jointly approached Sewickley Creek Greenhouse with their drawn-up plans and a budget to grow these annual flowers for Broad Street, starting in the fall of 2019. The greenhouse was filled with garden flats all winter long and into 2020. There was some wringing of hands in March of 2020 as community activities shut down and the world braced for the COVID-19 virus spread. April brought many people outdoors walking on the sidewalks. There was the realization that very few things will stop nature and the coming of spring. The Sewickley Borough dug out the old soil in the beds, replaced it with fresh soil along Broad Street. When the Bidwell Training Center students were contacted, they responded that they were not able to participate in the job of digging the 5,000 holes this year. Not to worry. The Garden Council put out a call for volunteers from the various garden clubs: Little Garden Club, Edgeworth Garden Club, Trial and Error, Village Garden Club, and Grapevine Garden Club. When Sewickley Creek Greenhouse delivered truckloads of flats, 35 volunteers across the garden clubs came to plant the 15 flower beds. Patience and cooperation were exercised, along with our knee and back muscles, as the intricate designs were followed for planting. Some of the flower species consisted of zinnia, begonia, snapdragon, salvia, celosia, euphorbia, gomphrena, ageratum, elysium, lisianthus, marigold, and vinca. The design pattern followed cool colors in one garden bed, complemented by warm colors in the next garden bed. Not only do the drivers and the walkers appreciate the colorful flowers, the birds and the bee pollinators appreciate the blossoms. It took the concerted effort of many to design and execute the planting of these annual plugs just in time for Memorial Day weekend. It was a sight to behold, the flags and the flowers waving at the people passing to and from Sewickley. Add to this the baskets near Beaver Street, and it is like walking around a park setting that is open to all and always open. In upcoming months, the borough will sit down to recap and make plans for the 2021 flowers along Broad Street. The Sewickley Civic Garden Council and the Sewickley Creek Greenhouse will join in. The efforts are great and the rewards are lasting good nature and goodwill. Enjoy. A big thank you to the volunteers and the donors of the 2020 Broad Street Project.